Welcome to Hampton Roads Perspectives, a public service of Entercom Communications. Weekly conversations about events and people making a difference in our community.
Good morning and welcome back. This is Dale Murray. The Boy Scouts of America is one of the nation's largest and most prominent youth development organization. The Tidewater Council of the Boy Scouts of America provides programs for over 5,000 people in Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Chesapeake, Portsmouth, and northeastern North Carolina. Joining me this morning to tell me more are some members of the Tidewater Council of the Boy Scouts of America. Good morning, gentlemen. Let's go around the room and introduce yourselves.
Good morning. My name is John McGlothian. I sit on the Council Executive Board for the Tidewater Council.
All right.
Good morning. I'm Robert Johnson. I'm a pediatrician in the area. I'm a Scoutmaster of Troop 70 in Norfolk, Virginia for the past 24 years.
And my name's James Parnell. I'm the Scout Executive for Tidewater Council and from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay, welcome to you all, gentlemen. James, let's start with you. How strong is the Boy Scouts of America here locally?
Oh, the Boy Scouts is very strong here in Tidewater Council. We serve about 4,500 youth. We've got an executive board that is very dedicated to scouting. And although COVID has dealt us a curveball, we are leading the southern region in our ability to recruit more youth into scouting this fall.
Yeah. John, talk to me about your scouting experience.
My scouting experience really started when I was a kid back in Nashville. My father was the Cubmaster. My mother was the den leader. I went on through the entire scouting program up to my Eagle Scout. I then came back when my son joined scouting when he was in kindergarten. Mm-hmm. And then from there, reignited my love for scouting, serving as a Cubmaster and then serving on the executive board.
Yeah, so it's a family affair.
It very much is.
Yeah. Now, Dr. Johnson, I'm well familiar with you and your involvement with scouting by reason of, by full disclosure, you and I attend the same church. We worship together, and I know of your works with our Boy Scout group. But can you talk to me about the different programs that the Boy Scouts of America offer?
Well, I'm most knowledgeable about the Boy Scouts themselves. The Boy Scout program is for boys between the ages of 11 and 18, and it's about the outdoors. It's about taking youth to the outdoors and mentoring them and leading them in a path toward good citizenship, explaining to them and demonstrating for them their duty to God, their duty to country, and their duty to themselves.
James, talk to me about the Cub Scouts. Now, you have different programs. There's the Cub Scouts, the Boy Scouts, the Venture.
And so the Boy Scouts, basically, the Boy Scouts of America added Scouts BSA, which is our program serving boys and girls ages 11 through 17 in February of 2019. But Cub Scouting is serving our youth, boys and girls now, K through 5. They have weekly meetings and go on campouts 2 to 4 times a year.
What about the Sea Scouts?
We do, and we're very fortunate in this council. We have actually 2 sailboats that actually we use to take youth out on sailing trips. We've got Sea Scouts and Venturing and Exploring, and all these programs serve boys and girls. Boy Scouting's actually been serving girls since 1969. It was just serving them in our older youth programs.
Yeah. So talk to me about Venturing. What?
Yeah, on the Venturing program, that's really for our older scouts, older youth, as they basically go into high school and so forth. Mm-hmm. But just to kind of add a little bit of context, we're here to really serve the youth. And when we look at the youth, we take it basically from kindergarten all the way almost through college. Okay. And we have a program that can actually meet all of those areas. The Venturing allows the older youth to participate, let's say, higher adventure activities and affairs that are more relegated to their specific skill sets and experience.
Okay, and Exploring?
Exploring is typically what kind of look at as a workforce development type program, where we actually go into the workforce and allow youth, again, to have a better understanding of some of those areas. So, for example, the firemen,
Yeah.
or the police, or STEM, or doctors. So you can actually have an explorer's post at any one of those job occupation locations.
Okay. It sounds like scouting has changed a lot since I was a kid.
Well, as the old vernacular kind of says, it's not your father's Buick. We've kind of redesigned everything. The core concept has not changed. The core piece has not. The details up under the engine really have.
Great. How does one sign the kids up for scouting?
So there's several different ways to get signed up for scouting. Probably the easiest way is to go to beascout.org online. You can also go to our council office. All you have to do is Google Tidewater Council, and it'll take you to our website, which will then direct you to our council office. So either one of those methods, the beascout.org site actually has you search by zip code, and you can find out the units that are located, the scout units in your area.
How often do scouts meet?
That depends on the troop and the leaders of the troop. We are meeting once a week via Zoom now because of the pandemic. We try to do outdoor activities, though, at least once a month. 2 weeks ago, I took my boys up to the Blue Ridge Mountains on a strenuous 6-hour hike, and that was enjoyable. I'm not going to say fun. It was more of a challenge, a physical challenge for the boys.
So the pandemic has certainly impacted the way you go about scouting.
Yes, sir. It's caused us to need to kind of change our indoor meetings. Some of our churches where scouting is based have not reopened their doors. So a lot of the scout meetings are taking place outside or virtually. It has also caused a financial impact. Around 25% of our operation. We're normally about a $1.8 million operation here in the Tidewater Council, and currently we're at about a 1.35. So $1.35 million operation. So we've mostly taken that impact at our summer camp. We weren't allowed to operate our summer camp this summer, and all of our events have pretty much gone to one day or overnight camping events.
Yeah. So,
but I tell you, in spite of all those challenges, I'm just really incredibly encouraged by the grit that our scouters, adult leaders, and our scouts, the youth, have really risen up to the occasion, not just serving themselves, but also serving the community. They've gone through outdoor events. They've done food drives. They've gone through and helped out at the schools, their local areas and so forth, really to try to be a positive part of this pandemic that we're going through.
Yeah. So the Boy Scouts now serve girls, correct?
Hmm?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
But
They've always served girls.
really?
Yes.
Well, there's the Boy Scouts, then the Girl Scouts.
So those are two different organizations.
So the venture scouts have always been co-ed.
Okay.
And a lot of the counselors at summer camp were females. When we went out to Philmont, which is one of the national Boy Scout camps in New Mexico, our guide was a female. So girls have always been involved with scouting, particularly in the venture programs. Now they have the opportunity to be involved in the Boy Scout program, which is for youth from 11 to 14 and extends to 18, as well as Cub Scouts and.
Okay, that's what I was. That's what I was referring to.
Yeah.
So why did you decide to take in girls, which I think is a wonderful idea? Well, I have mixed thoughts about that. Because they say girls usually do good when they're with girls. When you add boys and girls together, there's a new dynamic. But why did you decide to take in girls?
So basically, our customer or the families have been requesting that girls have the same opportunities to advance through the program as do the boys. In the Boy Scout program, the highest award you can earn is Eagle Scout, and we've had numerous families indicate that girls should have those same types of opportunities to get that. In fact, a lot of the countries don't have a separate Girl Scout and Boy Scout program. A lot of other countries, it's just one program called Scouting, and it's co-ed. But basically, the market is big enough for the Girl Scouts and the Boy Scouts to serve any youth. And Tidewater Council right now is only serving about 2 to 2.5% of the total available youth that live in this area. I don't know exactly what the Girl Scouts are serving, but I would tell you that there's plenty of space for both of us in the marketplace.
Okay.
I would also like to add, just from a very personal perspective, when I'm a former Cubmaster, so we're really kind of responsible for the K through 5 grades. Whenever we had a DIN meeting or a PAC meeting, girls were always there. The sisters were always there with their brothers.
Yeah.
Even my daughter was there with her brother, and they just kind of grow through the entire program essentially together. So they've always, in one shape, form, or fashion, have always been there.
Okay. You mentioned a few minutes ago that the Eagle rank, the Eagle Scout, is the highest rank you can achieve in scouting. What does it take to be an Eagle?
It takes about a minimum of 2.5 years of study. I've had some youth drop out of my troop because they said it was too much like school. And we do a lot of instruction. When you look at one of the humorous things my assistant leader said about our new Zoom meetings now is that he really likes it because he can put all the boys on mute and they have to listen to what we're saying and they can't interject jokes and distract. So that's we like that platform. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
They have to do a pretty lengthy service project as like the last big thing before their board review, and they have to earn about 23 merit badges, which are kind of like little college crib courses, and about 12 of those are required. We call those required Eagle merit badges, and the rest can be elective merit badges. The required merit badges are more focused like citizenship in the community, nation, world, personal fitness, personal management. What most scouts would probably say are not as fun. The elective merit badges are anything from rifle shooting, shotgun shooting,
Okay.
water skiing, wilderness survival, pioneering, camping, cooking, hiking. There's about 135 merit badges.
Okay. Are any girls, have any girls achieved the rank of Eagle Scout?
So that is a pretty awesome thing. Yes, sir.
Great.
They are currently all across the country having girls start to earn the Eagle Scout Award. They're all going to be recognized on the same date, and if my memory serves me correctly, that'll be February 8th, 2021 will be our first inaugural class of female Eagle Scouts.
Yeah, on average, I mentioned 2.5 years, but that's the fast track. That's somebody who, the thing about the requirements is it's not like you have to do it. It has to be the scout's choice to do these things. And they aren't easy. They're not, it's not a matter of doing something and getting a badge. These are detailed things like communication, citizenship in the nation, citizenship in the world. I've learned a lot by teaching these merit badges to my scouts. I've mentored about 15 Eagle Scouts. On average, it takes them anywhere from 5 to 7 years to obtain the rank of Eagle.
Really?
Some young men wait until just before the 18th birthday to get that last, merit badge done. And we have a saying that, don't let the fumes get you, perfume, gasoline, and what's the other one?
Work.
And so it's not. It's a tremendous accomplishment, and it's one of the reasons that some girls have been attracted to the Boy Scouts because it's a leg up when you go for an interview. You heard Mr. Parnell say that he is an Eagle Scout. Where did you hear that term before? You ever call a Marine an ex-Marine?
No, he's
If you want to
Marine.
be, if you want to be smacked, if you want to smack down, call a Marine or former Marine or ex-Marine. Once a Marine, you're always a Marine. Once you're an Eagle Scout, you're always an Eagle Scout. So when you go for a college interview or college application, I've talked to business executives at airports when I've traveled with my boys, and they will tell you, they spoken to my boys at airports and said, you know, when I get an applicant and they have that Eagle Scout rank on their resume, and there's somebody with the same credentials who doesn't have that, I hired the Eagle Scout. The military gives you a rank, you know, if you're an Eagle Scout. You actually get advanced one rank if you're going in as an enlisted person. Is that still the case?
It is.
Yes.
If you're just joining us, I'm talking with John McGlothian, Dr. Robert Johnson, and James Parnell of the Tidewater Council of the Boy Scouts of America. Dr. Johnson, you're starting a Cub Scout, I learned, at a Cub Scout pack at Grace Episcopal Church. Can you tell me something
we've
about it?
actually had a Cub Scout pack, but it sort of fizzled out.
Okay.
The Cub Scouts are sort of, that's where we get our Boy Scouts.
They're the feeders.
They're the feeders for the Boy Scouts. And troops that do not have feeder packs, who do not recruit from Cub packs, tend to fizzle out and sort of waste away. So our motive in bringing cubbing back to Grace Church is to feed the troop.
Now, you mentioned how scouting looks good on your resume, but how does scouting help one child succeed in life?
Yeah,
or school?
well, yeah, and that's a really good question. A lot of times people want to kind of focus on camping and outdoor activities, and those are very true skill sets. However, the way I kind of look at it is a transference of skills. So let's say that we have a young youth to prepare to go out camping. He has to prepare for the camp out, meaning get all the meals, get all the dinners, figure out the transportation, where they're going to sleep. Then he does the actual camp out where he has to develop a schedule. What are they going to actually do? And then after the camp out, they have to clean up their gear, turn it all in. Those skill sets are transferable back to the workforce.
Okay.
Why? Because you have to prepare for an event. Then you have to do the event. Then you have to do the post-event activities. And so it's a direct correlation to what individuals have to do throughout their lives.
James, I understand you have an initiative to attract and serve youth in the inner city.
We do, and actually John McGlothian is chairing our efforts. We are working diligently to build an outreach program to reach into communities that are at risk for any number of reasons, financially, single-parent homes, and so we're trying to pull together a group of individuals that help us secure funding as well as get access into schools or after-school programs in order to serve more youth. Currently, our council serves a large population of Caucasian Americans, and so we want to diversify scouting as much as possible. Whenever you miss a community or miss a generation, that's going to cause a pitfall in our ability to serve more youth. And so we are working to put those building blocks in place.
You know, John, when I was growing up, there was a scouting out of church in my neighborhood, and I wanted to belong. And I went to one meeting, but I didn't stay because of the cost involved. You know, I think they told my parents I had to buy the shirt, and at least wear the shirt, and not the whole uniform. But I think it was the cost involved. So that's a big impediment to scouting. But what other challenges are you finding?
Well, we also have adult volunteers on those areas. Let me back up one. Dr. Johnson and I have been engaged in trying to bring, and others, there's far more others, and I don't want to forget anyone's names, trying to bring scouting to socially, economically disadvantaged areas where cost is an issue, where parental volunteers is an issue. Mr. James Parnell, he's our new Scout executive. He's been here for about a year, but he came basically from Dallas, Texas. And there they have a program called Scout Reach. And on Scout Reach, one of the key parts of that is actually the funding, which is what you were just kind of bringing up. How can we bring scouts to our youth, alleviate some of the funding issues, and at the same time have qualified adult volunteers to assist with the program? And that is what one of the key differences from yesterday to today is. Now, having said that, now we may be looking for funding.
Yeah.
So hopefully that also come about too.
Yeah. Gentlemen, this is about all the time we have for now, but I do have a couple of other questions I need to wrap up. Can you tell me quickly, how can our listeners help scouting? What can our listeners do to make an impact?
Participate. Send your children, get them to join a troop.
Okay, if there's some adults listening and want their kids.
And adults as well, volunteer. And when I've gone to some of the inner city schools, the boys will come up with their eyes wide open. They see what we do and they want to do it.
Yeah.
And then a parent comes along and says, well, who's going to take you to the meetings? I have to work. What time are your meetings? And so forth and so on. So there are a lot of barriers, but the program is such a valuable program. And we need programs like that. It's a mentoring program, and we need participation from parents and youth. Everything's not about football.
Okay, but if there are adults listening who want to join and become a scout leader to help kids, what do they do? Who do they contact?
Again, they can go back to our website. They can also look out for the local volunteers. Volunteering is an important part of the organization. That is the strength of it, and that is what we actually need. The other piece that adults can also do is buy the popcorn, buy the Christmas wreaths, financially support those local units as well as the council so that we can continue to bring this awesome program to our youth.
And if anyone is listening would like to contact you about joining, volunteering, how do they do so? Who do they contact?
They can contact me. My number is 214-883-6027, and my email address is james.parnell@scouting.org.
Okay, and what are your digital platforms, your Facebook, website?
And so you can find a lot of information by going to beacub.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can also go to our website at Tidewater Council.
All right. My guests this morning have been Mr. James John McGlothian, Executive Board Member of the Tidewater Council of Boy Scouts, Dr. Robert Johnson, Scoutmaster, Troop 70, and James Parnell, Tidewater Council Scout Executive. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for what you're doing to improve the quality of life for our young people here in Hampton Roads.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
This has been Hampton Roads Perspectives. If you would like to share information about an event or organization to be featured on a future program, please send us an email. The address is hrp@entercom.com. That's hrp@entercom.com. Or send the information to Entercom Communications, 236 Clearfield Avenue, Suite 206, Virginia Beach, Virginia, 23462. The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of its participants and do not necessarily reflect those of Entercom Communications. Hampton Roads Perspectives is a public service of Entercom Communications.